and the omnibus. So I was forced into the Archers when I was a child. And look, it's come back to bite me later on.
I'm awash with this stuff.
The Archers is the world's longest-running radio show, with more than 15,000 episodes broadcast. Despite being a rural flavour show, The Archers is recorded in the heart of the UK's second-largest city, Birmingham.
Welcome to the deep dive. You send us the material, and, well, we dig into it. We pull out the key bits, basically. It's your fast track to getting clued up.
Yeah.
Today, we're heading into familiar territory, Ambridge. We've got an audio clip from the Archers that you send over.
Exactly. You shared a recent episode, and our mission really is to unpack what's going on. The main stories, the characters, how they connect.
Yeah.
We'll be looking at, their personal lives, the whole community vibe, and also some interesting tensions bubbling away there.
Right. You sent this clearly curious about the latest happenings in Ambridge, so let's get into it. Where does it start?
Well, the clip kicks off very much at home. A couple, sounds like Tom and his wife, having breakfast outside.
In the garden.
In the garden.
Yeah.
And straight away, they mention something loads of parents will get, finding time for each other. Especially since the kids, Nova and Sarah, arrived last spring.
Yeah, that struggle. And what about their garden dreams? Quite different, aren't they?
Oh, completely. One's thinking, sauna, fruit trees, quite grounded, quite nice.
The other one, a space launch pad, and a magic money tree, which is maybe a bit more wishful thinking.
Just a touch. And then they immediately mention the mortgage. That kind of pulls it back down to earth, doesn't it? That gap between the dream and the bank balance.
Absolutely. And that leads straight into what they actually plan to do with the garden. Right now, making it a good play area for the girls, that seems top priority.
Right.
And then there's this slightly tricky thing about Lee's old playhouse. They need to be, diplomatic about getting rid of it because of Helen.
Ah, okay. Hints of complicated living arrangements there.
Definitely. But they do want a new one. A Hobbit's Home playhouse.
A Hobbit's Home. That's quite specific. What's the feeling there, do you think?
It's lovely, isn't it? It suggests something, cozy, imaginative, maybe wanting that kind of magic for the girls, away from just the boring adult stuff.
Yeah, I see that.
But then money comes up again. The inheritance from Gran.
Right. Could that pay for the Hobbit house? Maybe. But it sounds like there's a bit of a pull. Should it go on the playhouse, or is it really meant for the business or the house itself?
It's funny how these small things, a playhouse, deciding on a tree, get tangled up with the big financial stuff. We also hear little bits about their own garden tastes, moving wildflowers, letting the girls pick a fruit tree, a Victoria plum, which is a nice touch.
Yeah, and involving them.
But then one of them also wants a more kind of formal front garden, so little differences there too.
Yeah, those little details paint a picture, don't they? Personalities, maybe tiny points of future negotiation.
Or gentle arguments.
Ah, possibly. But looking bigger picture, beyond the garden fence, they sound like they're settling in.
In the house, yeah. Boxes unpacked, that's a big step.
It is. They feel settled.
Really?
Helen's still living there. So that whole idea of redecorating, making it truly theirs, it's on hold.
Oh, right. There's that uncertainty. It affects what they feel they can do.
Exactly. You sense they're really looking forward to it just being the two of them.
Yeah.
And they're kind of hoping Helen uses her inheritance money to get her own place.
Soon.
Yeah, ideally by autumn, it sounds like. You can feel them wanting that space back, just as a couple.
And then we get that little bit at the end, one wants to play video games.
Yeah. While the other's sort of gently saying, hey, we never get time alone.
Yeah. Leading to that playful hint about maybe going back to bed instead. It's very human, relatable.
Totally. It's that mix of everyday stuff and the personal things that makes it work, makes them feel real.
Okay, so that's the domestic scene. But the clip moves on, doesn't it, to something more communal.
It does. Big shift. Theme 2, the cricket match. And, that whole village community spirit thing.
Right. Sounds like there's been a win.
Oh, yeah. Big excitement. The Ambridge team won, and it's a feeling like they're finally, clicking, working well together.
It must feel good for the village.
Definitely. That shared pride. But then, of course, comes the really crucial part of village cricket.
Let me guess.
The tea. And apparently, it wasn't up to scratch this time. Needlessly theatrical, someone called it.
Theatrical? What does that even mean for cricket tea?
Who knows?
Yeah.
And not very filling, apparently. Plus, a very specific complaint. Imported radishes. in May.
Oh, come on.
Especially when Tom, the guy from the garden scene earlier, has got loads of good ones growing locally. It's such a classic, slightly grumpy village complaint, isn't it?
It really is. Love that detail.
But then, straight away, they're looking forward to the next home game. Because Fallon's doing the pies.
Ah, Fallon's Pies, redemption.
Exactly. And the focus there is all local. Bridge Farm veg, herbs, Brookfield beef. It's all about, supporting their own. It's not just lunch. It's like a statement.
Yeah, community identity on a plate.
And Linda pipes up, joking they should put Ambridge, superior in so many ways, on the village sign.
Huh. Bit cheeky.
It is, but it shows that pride, that sense of place, maybe a bit of friendly rivalry.
We also hear about players, right? Katma.
Yeah, Katma's mentioned as a wonderful addition. Seems like she's really made a difference to the team.
Okay.
And Linda's just thrilled that Rex and Katma are playing well. Clearly means a lot for team morale and, well, Linda's own enjoyment.
So it all sounds quite positive on the cricket front. Community spirit, local pride, a winning team.
Well, mostly. That brings us to the third theme. Because alongside all that good feeling, there are these other things going on. Underlying tensions.
Oh, okay. Like what?
Linda mentions she's worried about Freddie.
Yeah.
Says he seems pensive.
Pensive.
Yeah, still bothered by that whole Casey Meets incident, apparently.
Yeah.
Not sleeping well. It's a little reminder that, even in a tight community, people have their own stuff going on. Past events still cast a shadow.
Right. Not everything's about the cricket match.
Not at all. And then, the big one. The revelation.
Go on.
It turns out there's a secret sponsorship. Vince apparently has been paying Rex and Katma to play.
Paying them in village cricket.
Exactly. And we hear how Linda reacted. First she did a little jig because they won. Pure celebration.
Yeah.
But then she finds out about the payments. And her mood just plummets. Moral outrage kicks in.
Wow, quite a switch.
It really is. It highlights that conflict, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Wanting to win versus, well, how you win. Linda's got a very clear idea about amateur sport.
What's her issue, specifically?
For her, paying players goes against the whole spirit of village cricket.
Mm-hmm.
It should be about love of the game, playing with your neighbors, fair play,
Mm-hmm.
not money.
I see.
She thinks it brings secrets and lies into it, which raises that whole question, what is amateur sport about? Are those values changing?
And she's worried about others finding out.
Definitely. She mentions Tracy, Molly, Chris.
Yeah.
How would they feel? And she's particularly worried about Tom.
The guy from the garden scene again?
Yeah. She thinks he'd be really hurt, might even start resenting Rex and Katma. So it's not just about the rules of the game, it's personal. It could damage friendships, trust.
Right, the ripple effect.
Then Lily tries to sort of calm her down, suggests, lots of teams probably pay players. Maybe Linda could just pretend she doesn't know.
Sweep it under the rug.
Basically. A more pragmatic view, perhaps. Or maybe just accepting that things aren't always black and white,
Yeah.
especially when you want your team to do well.
But Linda's not having it.
No way. She's firm. She needs time to digest this troubling discovery. She hasn't decided what to do yet.
So it leaves things hanging. A proper dilemma.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It sets up this potential conflict. What will she do? What happens if it comes out? It could really shake things up for the team, maybe even the whole village. It's fascinating how this little village drama touches on bigger ethical questions.
So pulling it all together then, this short clip gives us quite a snapshot, doesn't it?
It really does. You get the everyday stuff, the garden plans, family life, then the community stuff, the cricket, the local pride, and then this ethical curveball, this secret that could cause real problems. It's like a little world in miniature.
Yeah, those contrasts really stand out. The different garden dreams, the joy about the cricket win, and then bang, the secret payment thing, shows how complex even seemingly simple village life can be.
Exactly. Things aren't always as straightforward or idyllic as they might seem on the surface.
And for you listening, wanting to get up to speed quickly, digging into this short piece gives you a real feel for these storylines as they're unfolding right now in Ambridge. You get the dynamics, the tensions.
It's a concentrated dose of Ambridge life.
So maybe something to chew on. What do you think Linda will do about Rex and Katma being paid? How could that whole situation play out for the team, for Ambridge?
Yeah, it makes you think, doesn't it? About loyalty, rules, community, what really matters in the end.
Definitely food for thought.
Well, thanks for sending this one in. It was a good one to unpack. And yeah, if you come across anything else you want us to dive into, just let us know.
So, what are you doing now?
Just getting ready for the next episode.
Just moving mics around.
So what do you do?
I do the spot effects on the arches. Just any.
Are you what we call Foley then?
Kind of. Yep.
Okay. And these are all part of the paraphernalia of production.
Yep. That's the ball bar. That's,
This one.
yep. That's.
Hayley so wanted to be in their own place when their baby came. It's due in 2 months. Not much chance of that now. No. I mean, it would have been a stretch for them financially, mind, but I just wish there was something practical I could do to help them, Caroline. I mean,
I think the Archers has had this immense popularity over the years, basically because it has always very accurately reflected the reality of life and living in a rural community at whatever